Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I'm your host, Jake Combs, and today we're taking a look at You Lion Sack from Exploding Kittens. Now, this was also created by Penn, I believe the last name's Gillette, from Penn and Teller. And basically, the whole idea of the game is to lie to each other and either do it in such a way to trick everybody into basically removing themselves from the game, or from essentially allowing you to keep the good piece and win the game eventually. So the way it works is you have the sack. Every player starts with two of these. These are called the bad things, and then there's the good thing, which goes in the bag along with the rest of the bad things. On your turn, you basically draw out either a handful of the bad things and basically keep them hidden, or you draw out just the good thing and keep that hidden. Now, the good thing is nice and squishy, so it is very flexible and easy to squeeze into your hand, but it does make a little bit more noise than the sound of the bad things. So if you're not careful, especially if you fidget, it might be easier for people to tell which one's in your hand. And your goal is to convince them to take the bad things from you. And every turn, or every person that draws them out, even if they have the good thing in their hand, they have to say, I have a hand, basically something to the effect of, I have a handful of bad things, will you take them from me? And you do that to each person that you're playing with until one of them says yes. If none of them say yes, then you keep whatever's in your hand. Now, that being said, if you're holding the good thing, that means you get to put some or all of your bad things that you already have back in the sack. Or whoever gets the good thing and accepts it, if you were holding it, they get to put that number back in the bag. So, it definitely makes for some interesting gameplay because it's kind of like with Exploding Kittens, Good versus Evil, where you're trying to convince them which card is the bad card or the devil card, and in this you're trying to convince them that either you have bad things only and that you should be able to keep the good thing without them realizing it, or that you want them to think you're holding the good thing when you're really holding bad things, so that way they get themselves removed from play. And now, you may sometimes have one of those players that basically refuses to take anything ever, which is definitely a good way to play, from like a defensive stance. However, when it becomes their turn, because they're not willing to take the risk with anybody else, consistently the games seem to be that the people playing against those same people are less likely to take from them. So if they're trying to trick somebody with a handful of the bad things, they're more likely to get themselves out in the process, where a person that's going to take a chance might only have one or two and be in the game longer if nobody takes it. So definitely some things to think about. Overall, it's a fun game. Really enjoyed it. And just engaging with the family and intentionally lying to see who can get away with it was definitely a lot of fun. And you learn quickly how to read some poker faces, but at the same time it's kind of funny because when playing some of the people that normally don't have a poker face, you learn to stop trusting their lack of poker face, and it kind of works as a poker face as well. So a lot of good fun, and basically just some intentional mischief that is definitely very harmless as well, but good fun. Definitely enjoyed it, and look forward to playing it again.